Here we are. We met yesterday? This morning? Yesterday.
Yesterday.
After Linda connected us the night before. Seems like we somehow are both the products of each other's like manifestation, where as you were writing about something in particular, Linda reached out to connect us too. You didn't have any context for that, but then it turns out that we found out yesterday that I was like offering or wanting to share the exact things that you were looking for. And similarly, I have that experience and connection with you too. Could you share a little bit about some of that context?
Well, I told Linda that you're a quantum human. I was like, Alton operates right now. Like,
That's all there is, man.
I mean, like, the truth is there's only right now, but it's very rare to find operators who really operate right now. And so I really love that. I guess there's, well, I think yesterday's conversation where you were talking about, I was like, you can't offend me with the truth. And you were like, well, some truths are unwelcome. Like I could tell you that you're going to be lonely forever because of how you, I'm like, that's what I was writing about. Like, yes, exactly. It's so validating. The trouble is that I do things really differently from the norm and like even differently from the alternative scenes. And what'll come clear to people in my writing often is that they want what I have and they think we share similar definitions of certain things. And then it turns out we kind of don't. And I seem kind of like a savage and I seem kind of like, well, I'm really very much a violator of many social norms. So there is like a loneliness here. And, Alton, yesterday you were trying to like confront me with that truth. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like my whole existential woe is that I'm going to be alone forever because of how I do things, or that it's not really, yeah, it's super uncommon the way that I relate and the way that I even conceptualize humaning. So, yeah.
That's a very high podium that you put yourself on.
I am on a high, high podium. Yes, it's very lonely here.
Yep. How
I said
convenient.
different, not better.
Yeah, but you think better.
Oh, for sure. Why would I be doing it if I don't think it's better? Like, wouldn't it be so much easier to conform? It would be if I was going for, yeah.
So you're consciously choosing the path that's going to have you be alone. The evidence suggests.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of evidence that there's a lot of people who do want to do it this way.
Say they want to do it this way.
I mean, my clients really do it this way. When I'm speaking to it, like I really attract a lot of people who are incredibly, incredibly self-responsible.
I don't even know what that means, but anyhow, what is your therapy? What do you get? Are you dealing with artists, with manufacturers, with?
I'm not really a therapist. It's really hard to say what it is that I do. I don't know.
So
Hi, Ray. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, that's a real non-normative thing to do there. Hi, nice to meet you. Yes. So you do have normative pieces.
No.
You just used one.
No. I'm not like
really?
anybody.
Oh, good.
I'm
Yay. Yeah, good. Yay. Unfortunately, you're a social animal, so you have to do some things that are common. Otherwise, they won't understand you.
The thing is that I'm actually incredibly, incredibly basic. I'm not like that's
probably most posers are. So. I mean, there's nothing about you that says different to me.
Yeah.
So you look really normal. Buns are a little tight, but yes, and you do that. You know how to do that. That's pretty pedestrian. Yeah.
So my interest was in having and learning how to platform Hannah's work. She's written some incredible and beautiful pieces, and there's like a certain seed generator she must be in touch with to be able to create the type of works or writing that she does. She also lives in community, and I have an interest in having her experience more community here at Evergreen as well. I have it that Cray, you have a great sense or taste or palette for what
We know that she
exercise.
writes. We know that she writes. That's what you're pointing to. She writes, and she writes in a particular fashion that you find interesting. How that is, how she shows up as a human being, as a relational object, I don't have any idea. If you want to have other writers who are like, I'm stuck in a groove, and she's like, have you thought about using fish for pencils? I don't know, something, you know? Yeah, she's fine. She might be able to, that's what, you're not saying, oh my gosh. The way that she was with that bully was amazing, or the way that she was with that wounded, you're not speaking about any relationist. You're saying that she's an amazing writer. And I'm like, that's fine. And she can point to things in her writing that are really weird and crazy. I'm like, that's fine. Does that mean that she's a relational something, something, something? No, it means that she writes really well. According to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good proxy metric.
Yeah. And so if you want, I mean, what do you want her to come and coach your people in learning how to write differently?
No, those are good proxy metrics to being like, if this person is just around this home, then everybody will leave more enlightened and will have some impact in their way of being.
Yeah, but where's the data points?
Well, I know I'm taking a risk.
No, no,
Every time you get on the call, like you're taking a risk. I don't know.
You're looking at her, you have a certain experience with her, and you formulate in your head that if she's in the house, things will be different. I'm like, okay, what are your data points? Other than your lust for her
Writing.
or her writing.
Alton, you're so lusty.
You're not if you had somebody who was, everybody was walking around really stiff and you went and saw a very flexible person who was teaching yoga classes, you would think that, oh, I'm going to invite them to come live with us, and part of what they're going to do is teach us all yoga, and we're all going to become more limber.
Yeah.
But what is she doing? Are people going to come up and say, hey, I hear that you're a really great writer. I would really like to be a great writer in the fashion that you are. So can you teach me how to do that?
Oh, I mean, sure. Okay. I'm interested in that. That sounds good.
No, you're not. Jesus Christ.
He's only lusting. Alton, don't lie. All you do is lust.
Yes, but his lust is probably not the lust that you're familiar with.
How do you know what lust I'm familiar with, Cray?
I am making a supposition. I'm projecting based on how you're showing up. Like we all do. I could ask you what kind of lust you're into. You could tell me. I don't even know if that's true. You could be lying to me.
I wrote about that today. Look at us on the same framework, the whole wavelength. We're here.
So if you're I'm just going to speak fiction, okay? If you're part of this tribe, then you're in trouble.
What tribe?
Yeah.
This tribe, me, not him. He's a wannabe.
What does that mean?
Wannabe. He wants to be a member of that tribe. He wants to be on the football team. He wants to be in the chorus line. Well, I don't understand what you don't understand.
I'm not sure what the tribe is, I guess.
Yeah, I know that. There's a whole bunch of people out there that are saying, I asked her what she was and she told me. That's the truth. I'm like, no, that's what she told you. I asked her if she loved me and she said yes. That means she loves me. I'm like, no, that doesn't. How do you know that she loves you? You don't. You can see signifiers that she does that you interpret as loving you, but you'll never know about the interiority of somebody else ever.
Yes. I mean, I literally published a Substack about this today. Like, what is the difference between truth and judgment? And, because we could say that every truth is a judgment, but like,
There is no truth.
okay. Well, I would say
In
that,
a relational field, there is no truth.
well, maybe there's not fact, right?
No, there's no truth.
Okay.
That's all women want it. I can believe that. I can believe that with my whole being. All immigrants should go back home. I can believe that. Does it make it true? Like a scientific fact? No, it doesn't. Relational, there are no relational truths. There are relational beliefs. You know how fragile, you know how malleable memory is, non-traumatic memories. Okay, so I can, I remember this when I was 19, 20. I really remembered a birthday party that was really traumatic. When I was 5 years old, me and my sisters were talking, and I'm like, wow, and then like they're both looking at me like I'm crazy. And they're like, it did not go down like that. And I'm like, no, I remember this. I have remembered it this way for what, 10 years at this point. And they're like, it did not go down that way. So what am I to do now? Do I believe my memory? Or do I believe two external witnesses?
I guess it would really depend on like what your goal is to do with that memory or with the here and now representation of like how it's weighing on you, right?
Yes, because then it depends on what my intention, what I want to create, rather than the truth of it.
Well, I mean, I think like there's the truth of what happens, right? There's what a camera will
No,
catch.
yeah. You've never seen Photoshop? Your consciousness does the same thing.
Well, how about I share where we're agreeing here, which is on like the unknowable elements, right? Like I do not know and I cannot know what your motivation is, what your
Yep.
feeling is, what
Yep.
your what you want, right?
Yep.
So the writing that I published today was about how like I can tell you, the truth of what's happening between us is that I talked to you and you looked away, right? That's
Yep.
the truth. But like when I'm making a judgment, like you looked away because you don't love me, right?
Yep.
Whenever I'm asserting something, is asserting that I know something which is unknowable, that's when I'm making a judgment. And I'm actually stifling intimacy by killing the curiosity by knowing.
That's one kind of intimacy.
How do you define intimacy?
Intimacy is a non-normative relationship.
So I am weird and on a high pedestal. Huh.
Yeah, but that's what everybody thinks they are. Alton thinks he's on a pedestal too. That's very normative.
Oh, you're so cute, Cray. I really love you.
Yeah. What does that mean to me? Absolutely. Yeah, I see. You're actually Jeffrey Dahmer in disguise, and I should be really worried because if you really love me, my head's going to be in a refrigerator in 34 hours.
Your head or your hands?
Head. Jeffrey Dahmer cut their heads off.
That's
We'll put
really
the head.
good for my taste.
I know, but you say I love you as if it's real and if it has real meaning. You're not saying anything, you're using a code word to describe something that's happening in you. And in the shared culture, loving somebody is a high value positive, usually. So you're speaking something that really gives me no taste of who Hannah is. Nothing. It's just you're saying, oh, I'm having an experience that I think is high value with you. And I'm like, good. Does that make sense?
I mean, as like a string of words, yes, but as an element of communication, I'm not sure
You're
what
not,
to convey.
you're not saying something like,
What am I
um,
doing?
you're smoke screening.
Hmm.
One layer back from like, I heard what you said. You're saying that there's something positive going on here, I assume, by the use of the word love, but you're not actually saying anything about what it tastes like for you, about what the feeling is inside you, such that you label it love.
Hmm.
You know, you could be saying, shit, I haven't been this scared in fucking 5 years. This is great. I love it being pushed to my edges. Whatever it is.
So are you saying that you want more clear communication from me? Is that the desire that you're expressing with this?
I would like, in this moment, I would like more nude communication. You can be nuanced and still give me no flavors of you. I don't know what love means to you. You use the word as if I should know what that means to you. If I was in your monoculture and you used a highly coded phrase like I love you, and you were that age and I'm this age, and you're that gender and I'm this gender, and a whole bunch of things, they would be like, oh, if she says that, this is what that means.
So your interpretation of me saying I love you is that I was trying to convey something specific to you. Yeah.
No, you weren't. You weren't, because
That I
if
was
you,
trying to.
no, you're giving your brain, giving your writings, if you wanted to say something specific, you would. I don't think, and unless you have a lot of hangups about emotionality.
So you used a word and I'd like to like define that word. Okay.
Sure.
The word is positive.
Value positive, yes.
Yeah, I use positive not as a value judgment. Positive and negative to me are speaking to like what is happening or what is not happening.
Okay, then I withdraw that.
Well, I mean,
And-
like, I'm not objecting to the colloquial use of it. What I'm noticing is that I always struggle to address negative language. So whenever someone's telling me what's not happening, like they're really speaking to a delusion.
Wait. To me, when you say I love you, you're using negative language. You're referring to a meta instead of a singularity.
You lost
You're
me.
not, you,
I also don't understand.
when you say I love this, I don't know if it's the pain that's attractive to you. I don't know if it's the looseness. I don't know if it's the shirt. I
So
don't know.
positively, what actually is happening for you when I say I love you?
I get a little pissed off. I get a little bit what is it called? Sad.
Mm.
These are just emotional responses, and it wouldn't be much to me. And it's like you pretend, so my unfiltered language is you pretentious little bitch. You claim to be so different. And you're going to use those silly meta concepts instead of getting down and getting dirty. You're going to use all those colloquialisms instead of speak. You're going to call it beef instead of cow. I get angry, and I think it's because, oh, I'm being lied to again.
Mm.
Childhood stuff. I personally don't care. I mean, I'm just dancing. You should be smiling.
I should be smiling.
Yes. You're being presented with a conundrum. You're being
How
presented with
original.
somebody.
A man telling me to smile. How original.
How original to have that reaction to a man telling you to smile. So that's even worse. Making fun of an old man trapped in his cultural beliefs. Instead of saying, don't you ever tell me to fucking smile, you old fucking shit. You do the, ha 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 ha, oh look, a man telling me to smile. We all know what a cultural trope that is. Isn't he just the stupidest thing for saying that again? Is one way of reading it. Instead of the honest, whatever happened to you? Whatever happened to you, nobody knows. Because you put up that thing. Yes.
You seem to have a lot of ideas about how I should be and how I should feel.
It's
How I
all
should-
personal. This is personal bullshit. It's personal. It's all projection. It has nothing to do with you. It's all my history.
It's all
Don't
your
take
what?
it. It's all my history. It's all my culture.
Yeah,
There's
100.
nothing real about it. You shouldn't be anything. It's just a way of speaking.
Mm.
My thoughts are, my projection is that if you were more honest about about what's happening inside you, this level of meaty interchange is actually feels quite positive to you. That's a total projection. Now, in alignment with my projection, I would expect you to look over there and you're like, oh, so now I have to use my, like Princess Bride, where one guy switches the hand and the other guy goes, me too. And he has that smile. Yeah, there's something like that. There's something like that. Like you're like, oh shit, you're not just some old fuckhead.
Did I think you were an old fuckhead? When did I think
Don't
that?
you know? This is just a story.
What's so funny, actually, here's some context for you, Cray, is that Alton was like, oh yeah, this guy, he's gonna like tear you apart, he's gonna like take you to your edges. And I was like, okay. And I had already watched something and I was like, was it that guy that I watched? Was it that guy that I watched just deliver straight up truth? Like that was just like straight, clean facts that he was giving. Like what, I'm supposed to be shredded by the truth or by the facts? Like that's not gonna happen. So yeah, I think of you as like yeah, I think you have a lot of wisdom and you're
Oh, shut up. God damn it.
okay.
It's just opinions.
Yes, Daddy, I'll shut up.
So try on it, instead of it being a child reacting, have it be a person reacting to another person. Get out of that little kid thing, would you please? I don't like dancing with 12-year-olds.
I'm in a 12-year-old.
To me, you're acting like a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old, maybe.
The signifier is referring to you as daddy.
That's one of them.
What are some of the other ones?
I don't remember. She's got, to me,
How come Alton can be lusty and I can't?
I don't know whether you know how to be lusty. I don't know. What would be the signifier showing up in the way that you're costumed and your backdrop that will have me go, oh, she knows lust? There's nothing. There's no stories you've told me. There's nothing. I got no idea how you walk with lust.
I mean, it seems like you have some ideas.
Oh, so now you're doing it? Now you're woman-splaining to me?
Just saying what it seems like.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's just, that's an opinion you have. I would much rather hear you explain it than me explain it, even if I got it right. I don't give a shit.
What would you like me to explain?
Your relationship with lust. How you dance it. What's the big things for you?
Hmm.
I hope you don't go straight to sexual shit, but you might.
No, I was really thinking in terms of desire, just it's been so hard to want anything
Oh,
for
oh,
a
God's
long
sake. So, what do you mean by want?
to want anything. It's been really hard.
Are you talking about the deep want, or are you talking about superficial want?
Yep.
So if you go to your clothes closet and get dressed for the morning, you want to show up in a certain way. Any conscious choice involves want, involves a choosing of how to show up. That's just human nature. If it's voluntary, there's choice. And out of all the choices, you're going to choose usually one thing. What necklace to wear, how to put your hair, what to eat, how to wipe your ass, you know? You want lots of things. But you look like you're, again, this is me making things up. You look like you're a poet or an artist that hasn't felt the deep creative want in a long time, if ever. So that's a whole different thing. If my story is you're tired of being an engineer, that you'd rather be an artist because you think that artists have this want, this desire, this urge to create, but engineers don't. Why are you crying? So you can give me the bland answer, or you can give me an answer that reveals more about you. Ugh. Yes, here comes the Norwegian. Yay. He's polite, Anna. You'll like.
Hello, Norwegian.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Should I make an attempt at the name or do you want to say it?
Jochen.
Johan. Oh, love it. Hi.
Is that polite culture?
Uh,
No, not you, Jochen.
okay.
Is that polite culture, Hannah?
What?
Or is that asking for permission? Alton will do things like that because he comes from a polite culture and it's always safer and better to ask before potentially getting something wrong. And I don't know whether that's part of your culture or whether that's something else. So I'm asking about something I'm curious about.
I think it's pure narcissism. I think I'm good at getting people's names right. And yeah, like I want to get it right. And I would have gotten that one wrong, I think. So it's really nice that he didn't try it.
Why can't you say, I'd really like to get your name right. It means a lot to me. Would you tell me how you'd like to have it pronounced? Because that would give us more information about your desire to get names right, rather than I can say it or you can tell me. That doesn't give us any taste of you. Am I making
Hungry
sense?
for a taste of me, Craig?
Yes, I would like a taste of you.
Okay.
For the record, I found it actually more playful the way that you did it, Hannah. I found it, the way that you said it, I found it just a very playful invitation. Either, no, try it, you know, try me without me saying it. I mean, I could have said that, but like, no, it's like, okay.
Yeah, there we are. This is the Norwegian who likes to be playful.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be why I'm coming across as 10 or 12 to you, but I just love play.
There are different things, there are different, adults can play. Children can play. They're usually very different flavors.
They are.
Why are you crying?
I'm not
Why
right.
were you, why were you crying?
When I spoke what I spoke, that was the emotion that was there.
Shallow answer. Okay.
Okay.
Why do you think I'm stupid? Because that's what I think. Why do you hate black people? Because that's what I do. Why do you think all men are pigs? Because that's what I think. It's not giving you nobody tastes you with those definitions. In my world, those are adolescent masculine descriptions. Philosophically true. And there are other ways of answering the question that will give people a better taste of you. Now, understandably, most of us don't want people tasting us. We don't want them to know our truth. We don't want them to know about our skid marks and dirty socks, what we think of as skid marks and dirty socks. And so we've trained ourselves to give vague, meta answers about things. Now, if you're a trained intellectual, you're going to say the intellectually correct thing. That's the emotion that was coming up. Well, I understand that, but emotions just don't arise. They arise because of meaning making. So I'm not asking about the sadness comes up and I let it out. I'm asking what's the story that has you be sad such that you cry? Because you can be sad and not cry.
What was the story I was saying when I
I
cried?
don't know.
Fascinating.
I don't track that shit.
The words that are coming out of my mouth.
Not as references. Part of my practice is to open things up really wide so I can hear really small things, perceive really small things. Doesn't give me a lot of capacity to transfer to long-term memory. Like after one of these calls, I don't remember a lot of it, and I'm okay with that. Having
Are
fun
there
all the
any
time?
dojo practices you'd invite Hannah and us to take on?
1,000. 1,000.
Okay,
But-
what would the single first step in that direction be?
I
Like
wouldn't.
personal reveals?
She doesn't have a request of me. Why would I
Like me to
offer
make a
her?
request of you?
If you want to, I'm not interested in you performing for me. I'm
Really?
interested in you performing for you.
Hmm.
I would like whoever it is that's showing up on this call to be in alignment with something you want rather than something I want. If you're doing something because I want, it's boring.
Well, I would like to be addressing what is happening, and I'm finding it really hard to have a conversation with you because when I speak to things, you tell me a lot about what I'm not doing or what I'm not saying or what I could say better. And when Johan joined this call, like I felt Johan like have an experience of me. And then
You
you're
did?
like, here are all the reasons why I can't have an experience of you. Can't have an experience of you because of this. Can't have an experience of you because of this. Can't have an experience of you because of this. You didn't say it like this. You didn't say it like that. And I'm like, all that is true. And I don't really have anywhere to go from there. Like, what are you experiencing? And like Johan says, like, I experienced your playfulness. Like, thank you. Like, that makes me feel seen. And it's like addressing, if you're not going to address the words, then you can address the tone, right? And so like the tone is like a playful tone. And so the thing is that I think that I'm certainly flavorful, and like maybe you don't like how the dish is prepared or you don't want to taste it or you're not tasting it, but like the fact that you're not tasting it is not a feature of what I'm offering you.
No, I am tasting it. There's nothing I can do except taste you now. It's bland. It's boring. It doesn't have a lot of nuance to it.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. How do you feel?
Thank you for sharing. I was encircling a very long time. One of the most disingenuous places I've ever been. and thank you for sharing is like a Nazi salute to me.
is so offended.
Ooh.
Hell yeah, Regina! Hi, darling.
And
Hi,
I just
Seth.
want to say, Alton, I did send you a message in case you want to take a look here on Zoom. I sent you a message just so you know.
I want my head to be bigger.
That's what they all say.
Secrets. Ooh. What do you make of that, Cray? Do
Of
you
what?
feel anything?
Of secrets? No. Childish, immature vocalizations. Boring.
Children are to
boring.
be dismissed, not
Yeah,
seen.
exactly.
Real children I get along with fine. People who are in adult bodies acting like children. It's like the same way I get along with racists or homophobes or, they're boring.
Okay, yeah. I
To
can live
me.
with that. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's okay. And hello, Regina.
Hello. Do I have to shout to be heard, or am I audible if I speak in a relaxed
Oh,
tone?
for me, it's okay.
Okay.
Ray,
Anyone-
last heard you say that you weren't available to share things to Hannah because she hadn't asked for any things.
This is my public face. She hasn't asked me for anything.
Public face?
This is my face that I use in public.
It's very inflammatory.
The feedback is more about the person giving the feedback than the person getting the feedback. So yes, I understand that you experience this style as being inflammatory. To me, it's not very inflammatory.
What is that, Regina? Is it a plant? Is that supposed to be?
It's a stuffy succulent. All the way from Five Below in Florida.
Fucking love Five Below.
So yeah, I brought a comfort object. And I would love to be oriented to what's occurred in the room if someone would be willing.
I also
Sure.
just joined.
Oh, cool. It's very hard to hear them still. It doesn't go louder.
Okay, I can make it louder.
Okay.
You wish to have a story so you can fit in correctly?
Or know what I'm breaking.
Oh, just go ahead and break shit.
Well, I was going to offer to freestyle, but first I wanted to suss you guys out and see, do I like
Freestyle.
do I
what?
like these people? I know I like Hannah. I don't know who this
Oh.
nameless person even is because you don't have a name where I can see you. Oh, Joe?
Johan.
Jochen? Johan? Okay. And
Am
I've
I-
been
is their name nameless because is anything wrong with like the way that my name is? Okay.
no, I think it's just how he has his settings. I wasn't able to see it, but I see it now.
I see.
And I see Cray is like thoroughly just repulsed by my attempts to orient to this.
You think it's about you.
Oh, what's it about?
It's about Johan.
Oh,
Is that a common practice in your reality that you tend to make things about you that you haven't checked out?
absolutely. Yes.
How's that working for you?
I think you already know the answer to that one.
I have my opinion, but I don't know your opinion. That's why I'm asking for your opinion.
Yeah, it's causing some pain.
Is it intolerable or is it's okay pain? You'll continue doing what you do because it's tolerable.
I have a really high pain threshold and I'm interested in experiencing less pain as well.
Okay. That sounds very my mini making. That's a very vulnerable admission.
That's probably one of the least vulnerable things I could have led with. And I'm intentionally titrating into this space because I've been prepared to be like publicly humiliated here. So,
Oh, come on, just cannonball. It's only painful for the first 5 or 6 seconds.
that's
and you
what I
don't your
did for
head.
46 years. I'm trying a new strategy.
Oh, okay. Let me know how it turns out, and if there's anything I can do to assist you in titrating, do let me know, because I can't read your mind.
I have an assistance in titrating. Are you friends with Nissan?
Nitsan,
Nissan.
the woman in Boulder.
Yes. Yay. I saw she was harassing you on Facebook, so I figured I feel more safe with you if you're friends with her.
She's
I
a-
would
she-
love to see a Cray meets Son conversation. That would be so
Nice.
good.
I think that could probably happen pretty easily. I'm
That would
guessing.
You-
be spicy.
One of you could get hold of her. We
Are you
have
friends
1
with
hour and
her?
60. I don't know what that word means.
Have you met her in person and hung out with her?
In person,
her?
no. I
Have
meet
you
very
whipped
few
her?
people in person.
Oh,
Have I
you're
whipped
just-
her?
You're just a old
Not
white guy
physically.
hermit in the cabin.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you ask her? You can get up.
'Cause I'm
Why
here
don't
with
you
you. And you
Okay.
offered to help me titrate.
Okay, she, honestly, I think she thinks I'm kind of weird and special, and she likes me.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Mhm.
You think
Where
that
in the
about me
world
too?
are you, Cray?
What?
Where in the world are you?
Coast of Maine,
Mm.
mid-coast,
I'm from Vermont originally.
it shows. Green Nazis.
Wow, who is this geometric person? That's really impressive.
Geometry is impressive. Jesus Christ.
A good Zoom background, unlike yours, Cray,
Lord,
does
help
delight
me,
me.
please.
Yeah, Cray has the worst Zoom background. Well, I don't know, Hannah's isn't great either, but
You can actually
Okay.
see some of Crane's.
Mine's better than yours, Regina.
hey, that's on this guy.
Uh,
He didn't even pull out the fancy camera for me. I'm offended.
Johan didn't even design his background.
He's got a wallpaper accent wall though.
That is
No,
a
this-
hotel. That is clearly a hotel.
Yeah, he rented a hotel
Well-
for the Zoom. I mean, you got to give him credit for that.
Oh, you're supporting your girl Hannah? Is it Ryan? Ryan?
Rian, yeah.
Rian.
Oh.
Hi. You're supporting me. What are you supporting me with?
Oh,
The
Have fun, Rin.
I don't know what the nature of this space is or when it might end, so before it unceremoniously ends, before I have the chance to say, last time we spoke, Cray, you ridiculed me for not going outside when I wanted to, but I'm going outside tonight, so there's that. At least.
I'm so happy for you.
Appreciate it. I can hear it in your voice.
Yes, I wish you could do something that was that challenging here and now.
Here in Maine,
No, here in the Zoom call.
more challenging than going outside.
Yes.
I'm not sure that that sort of thing is possible here in this moment.
Really, you, in your wildest imaginations, you can't come up with a story that you could express verbally, directed at any of these people here, that wouldn't be more challenging to you than going outside. Seriously.
Well, not more challenging and beneficial. I could just
Beneficial to who?
to whom?
What the racist
Thank
calls,
you.
what the racist calls beneficial is.
I mean, it would be very difficult for me to say like just be a total asshole to people here, but I don't. Want
Okay, be a total asshole to me, I can stand it.
well, being a total asshole to you isn't very difficult.
Well,
is it
prove
Ryan or Rian?
Rian, like
Do you want mommy's permission to go outside right now?
I don't need it.
Wait,
You
wait,
want it,
Rian,
though?
where are you in the world?
Are you like locked up somewhere? Like, are you okay? Do you need help?
Twice.
Extended geometer's prison.
Oh my God, the geometer's prison. I've heard about that place.
It's actually a prism.
Oh, yes, yes. Hannah wins this call. The geometer's prism. For just $7.77 a month, you too can be initiated.
Wait, where in the world are you, Rian?
Chicago.
Hmm?
Chicago.
Chicago. I thought you said China.
Almost.
Almost. Close. Yeah. Chicago. Chicago has trapped me 100% of the times I've been there in the last 2 years. I didn't want to spend any nights in Chicago, and I spent 2.
Cray's gonna have an aneurysm if you get any more banal, I think.
Oh, I know. It's really hard for him to talk about the basics, huh?
Yeah, we're way too childish.
Can I go get my comfort object?
Yeah, go get it. Do you have a Steffi?
I actually have a 9-foot scarf,
I suppose that'll do.
but it's
I
too
think
hot
that'll
for it.
definitely do. Yeah.
You want me to? I'll get it anyway.
No, I mean,
Show
not
it
if you
to
don't want
You
to.
can see it.
Because I'm triggered by the way you treat Hannah.
Hmm?
Did I join because I'm triggered by the way you treat Hannah?
Aw.
Actually,
And what do you-
9-foot scarves, which is
what are
27
you-
feet scarf.
What are you gonna do differently? You showed up, great.
You mean like what? How am I gonna benefit her better than you? You mean?
No, no.
I want to know that. That's what I want to know.
Well, then I guess I mean
Mom,
differently than
this- I don't know. Just do what you would habitually do. Don't change, don't grow, don't differentiate. Be the same you that you've always been and do the same things that you always do. That's safe.
That would be the biggest challenge, I think, of all time. That's the
One
biggest
you?
challenge of
I
all
don't
time.
understand.
Hmm? I don't understand what you don't understand.
One you? Like,
From where I sit, Ryan is a point of consciousness wearing a human suit. And he thinks that the human suit is a special kind of human suit called I. And everything that that character suit generates is somehow special. It has to be paid attention to in a special way. The feelings, the thoughts, the emotions, they somehow have some gravity that any other character that he would play wouldn't. Because this is I. These are my emotions, my fears, my triggers. And so instead of treating them like a construct that these are data, this is data coming at me. My trigger is data. I can choose to work with it or not. I can choose to be led by it, or I can choose not to. Most of us, self-identified with our primal characters, will do what our primal characters tell us to do. It sounds like Rian was like, I'm triggered. And I can't tell whether I'm triggered, therefore I'm going in, or I'm triggered, I don't normally go in, but fuck it, I'm going in now. That's it.
Did I miss what Rian said about being here? What did you want to do to support me? What was that? What was the need for support, and what support do you want to administer?
Oh, I had just sought to validate some of the things you were saying.
what was Hannah saying? I'd like to hear because I missed it.
I don't remember exactly the wording, but it was something along the lines of pointing out the way Gray was sort of badgering and then not providing space, and then pointing to the lack of entry into the lack of space.
That sounds about right from what I've observed so far.
Yeah, there's something, there are benefits to the approach that I am unable to manifest, but there are costs that it bothers me that they seem unattended.
What was the last piece? The cost seem what?
Not attended to.
Like you're feeling an impact or imagining there's an impact on Hannah that you wanted to come like support her with.
Correct.
That's really kind of you.
Yeah,
I feel your heart.
Thank you.
So if you observe Alton, you can see 4 people with a common monoculture, and they're all agreeing with it. It seems to be. Like Brian is explaining why he's here in all of this. Virginia is going, I like that. It seems that
It's
Hannah's
Regina.
going, Regina.
My ego likes when people get my name right.
Yeah, good. Let's support your ego. for God's
My ego
sakes.
likes when your name rhymes with vagina, so.
Yes, so do many other people's, but
And so, and you can see, it even looked like Jochen was like, oh, he was nodding his head. I don't know what was going on inside. But it looks
Yes.
like he's like, oh, yes, that's an interpretation. And a set of actions that we approve of. That fits our definitions of what right behavior is, or good behavior or something. Not my culture.
Right. I mean, I agree. That's what had me message a couple other people to ask them to come because I hope it can dilute this existing culture.
What is your culture, Craig? What would you say is your culture? How would you
My
describe-
culture is that you're not your history.
Mm,
You have your history, but it's not who you are.
mm,
Unless you're self-identified with your primal culture, with your primal character. So all of the emotions that come up are because your history is interpreting the present, referencing the history.
Right. I think this
So-
is some basic shit. It's not news to me. And
Yep.
I don't have a problem with how you're throwing down. I wouldn't have chose to spend an hour of my day being here if I wasn't enjoying how I think you might throw down. But it's not an either or for me.
That's your culture. Yes, I understand that.
And-
For me,
and-
it
and
is.
Do you get, Cray, that like when you respond with like whatever you respond to, it also looks to me that maybe your emotional response is like the consequence of your history or whatever your character is going through.
It is.
Yeah. So like,
And
that's-
rather than saying you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. Okay, I do
You
this.
kind of are saying that. That's fine.
I know.
I don't have
know.
a problem with you thinking I'm an idiot.
I'm just trying to be gentler in how I'm saying it. I think that if you're looking at me putting my head in my hands, that because of what I think your culture is, you're going to listen a little bit better
mm.
or interpret a little bit softer than if I
So
said you
you're
guys are a
attempting to
bunch.
attune to the group field.
Yes, that's what we do.
What do you want out of this? What do you want right now? Why are you so disappointed in us?
I want to survive another one of my goddamn 2-hour contracts with Alton without blowing a gasket.
What
So
would
I'm
help you
trying-
not blow a gasket right now?
If you guys weren't such fucking idiots,
How would I be less of an idiot to you right now?
if you would stop being so damn childish.
Isn't
What
that
are you
the same
judging as
sort of
childish?
Non-statement that
Childish.
the same sort of non-statement that you had just critiqued when Hannah gave you an answer when you asked for why she was doing what she was doing, and you said, "Oh, I hate black people because it's what I do." You would be less of an idiot by being less of an idiot.
No, I'm saying the next time it happens, I'll point it out.
In
The
yourself.
childishness or
That's my definition. There's no real childishness out there.
well,
It's
if
like-
you
it's
want
like-
something from me, I'm open to hear what you want. But if you give me a
I-
not something, I don't know how to do not.
I want you to be the person you want to be here. That's
doing it. I'm
Then
happy.
fine.
You're
And That's
not.
what I'm doing.
And I
don't
might be
have to be
happier if
happy.
I made you happier.
I'm okay with not being happy. It's just an emotion.
Yeah, I really want you and Neetson to do this together. Oh, yeah.
Hannah, contact her and say she has 1 hour left on this call. Show up.
What do you think? Should we do that, Regina?
Yeah, just
Why
tell
are
her
you
I'm here.
asking
Why
other
not?
people?
If she's free.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I know.
I'll do it. Jesus Christ.
Tell her we need her big dick and that I'm here. We can double team
Nitsan.
him.
Nitsan sent a voice message. Great.
Why didn't you play it?
Would you show, because I'm involved with you. To me, she's an Israeli commando. And when she uses the
that's great.
verbal stuff instead of the written stuff, it tends to be a little bit more high velocity or high volume.
Is that more adult and more interesting?
No, it's not, that's not one of the qualifications. Can I tell her what your names are, Hannah and Regina?
Yes.
You might have to tell her my last name, which is Taylor,
I did.
or many Hannahs. This makes me sad because I really want to get off the call because it's been an hour and I want to go to the river, but like I really want to be here if Needson does show up.
Oh,
She's starting to reply.
Yay.
No, she's not replying.
She's a busy
She's
bee.
driving to the airport right now. So I, being a Jewish grandmother, really don't want her to get on the phone call while she's driving.
Having
sounds like you're a little closer to our culture than you thought. It's pretty soft.
No, I'm not soft. I was an EMT for a long time and I've seen what happens in car wrecks and part of, one of the influencers of car wrecks is being distracted.
So next week, same time.
I don't know, invite her, I don't care.
Needson.
Yeah, I'll invite her. Honestly, I'm glad that she can't make it because I would feel not great if we had to rely on Nitsan to come make this call interesting. I think we can get there.
Maybe if something bland and flavorless leaves the room. It will be more interesting.
That's an example.
That would work.
That's an
Yeah.
example of what I would call childish.
Thank you.
Hmm?
Okay, I'm gonna go to the river and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a beautiful day.
Nice
Enjoy
to
the
see you,
conversation.
Hannah. Enjoy the
Bye-bye.
river.
Thank
Bye,
you
Hannah.
again for
Nice meeting you.
coming in to support me. Appreciate that. All right, talk to you soon. Bye, Cray. Thank you.
At least in my culture, Cray, that would have been childish, but I guess that's also fine.
Yeah. It's not, it's just personal preferences.
Indeed.
That's all it is. So
Indeed.
sometimes I like acting childish and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I like the flavor of it. I usually don't like it. And like if you did that, I'd be like, oh. Next week, they wanted your God.
But I have to admit now that you said it, such a fascinating thought experiment of having like Cray from the past and Cray from the future, two Crays on the call at the same time, trying to see if they can actually get along or if they would just get on each other's nerves or something.
I have no idea what that's about.
Ladder.
Ladder?
Spoken. Would you like to speak?
I'm sitting with being confronted with my story about Hannah's appetite for this work.
Which is?
You can't be confronted with ultimate practice. You can't be confronted with your story about her. You can be confronted with data
Mhm.
that either supports or denies or something.
Yeah, the data is that she didn't occur to follow up with you or make any direct asks around exercises.
Yep.
And that implies to me she's not as committed to this work that as in a way that's legible to me. I find that
So that little tag there, that's legible to me. That's, to me, that's the important part.
right.
Because all she's doing is that she's doing a bunch of signifiers and you're interpreting those signifiers in a certain way. They may not be true.
That's right. Well, that's why I'm outing it. I
Yeah.
hope that it's not true, but my
Mm.
experience is my experience right now.
Oh,
And as I say it, it's less so. But Kate is exactly who you requested, and someone who I love to have.
Make
Thank you.
it.
hmm. If you don't mind, I'm going to superimpose you on the river with wherever you are now. Kate?
I'm here. I'm in the river. I'm in the water.
I'm gonna do the visual too. So. How is the water?
Warm. It's soft.
Ray, if I ask you what the last time you substantively stepped outside your own patterns was, what would come to mind?
Minutes ago, days ago. And again, that's just my assessment of it.
Sure, that's who I'm asking.
Yeah, so. I can look at my interaction with Kate and I can notice my patterns going this way and I'm like,
Sure. I know you can. I'm asking
Yeah.
which comes to mind, which specifically, not the hours, not the days, not the minutes, but the one that does.
the one pattern that I like stepping out of
No, the one that comes to your mind.
is looking at something like Kate
I'm asking
and
like Kate. I'm asking for the specific instance.
okay, in this instance, I'm looking at Kate. And my history is giving me a bunch of definitions of what she is. And I like stepping into the experience of the water of her.
That's what came to your mind when I asked.
Yep.
What's it like for you?
The water.
Mhm.
It's slow. It's got viscosity to it. There's no stickiness though. So it's thick. Notes of spice in a sort of rich body. And always the little hints of California Reapers.
How's it to you, Kate?
The water.
Your water.
Craze made up experiencing that.
I love it. Gave me more insight into your window of myself this moment. I don't know what California Reapers are.
They're an exceedingly spicy hot pepper. Like
The water for me in this moment, or the water for me in this moment reflecting through Cray? That's the question.
I don't know.
My water feels warm, fluid. It's a bit thick, but it's very embodied. I like embodied water. Notice little flecks of effervescence.
One of my projections is that you don't have anything that you want to prove or need to prove in the forefront.
I resonate with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think just proving the proving ground is definitely back into myself. There's standards that I feel like I'm there's things I'm proving to myself that I can step into or show up for. And that feels good. Feels like a good place to
Mhm.
exist.
Here we are.
Notice that you enjoy Kate. You seem to, when Kate's speaking, it seems to really impact you, Gray.
It's not, it's the experience is flowing, it's like being in a river and having it, you're moving a little slower than the river and it's moving past you. But you're still in the current of it.
Mhm.
I'm more paying attention to the movement of it than the definitions of the words. Uh-oh.
Hi.
Hi,
Oh, you disappeared.
I'm just listening.
Linda
Craig.
connected Regina
Hi.
to me, and Linda's an incredible connector. I wanted to have her share some of the fruits of this.
Where's Hannah?
At the river.
She
I
just
thought she was on the call. What?
She was on the call, she left.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I missed it.
Hmm. Is there anything I could be of an assist to you, Kate, with?
Maybe. I feel curious about Ryan.
Yeah.
So maybe you could help me, Cray, understand who Ryan is. As far
Nope,
as water
nope, that's your dance.
or other
I don't-
metaphors.
I don't want to prejudice your learning.
Ryan,
Yeah, I know. This Ryan?
the one that's on the screen here.
Oh, that one. Oh, I'm happy to do that. What do you want to do with Ryan?
Here, I was surprised to learn that Kate was yearning for me.
He's-
Yeah, I'm yearning to know more about Ryan in this moment, Craig. So I was wondering if you could describe the water of
Okay, so-
Ryan.
So look at Ryan.
Mhm.
Look how he's choosing to show up. Okay, he's got little weird esoteric symbols there, and he's got the black background, and he's got the hairstyle he has, and he's got the physique he has. So what you're interested in is the 180, I think.
Is
Like
the
that's
what?
what is the 180. Is the things that he keeps hidden. Because the public, I think, is way too not complicated enough for you, not forceful enough for you, and doesn't have enough of a root for you, a masculine root. But I think that you could, as long as, again, prejudicial projection, as long as you weren't looking for a deep masculine root, you could have a really good time engaging with his dark side.
Is the dark side the one that's forward facing right now?
No. If you look on his jawline, there's a little bit of it.
Mhm.
He likes to pretend to be self-assured. That's his public face, is that he's self-assured. Really, I believe that he is very unsure about the capacity of his dark side. But from over here, if he's looking at you through his dark, he's like, that's a big ass filly, man. If it was a pony, I could do it. I could definitely handle that as a pony. But that's a big ass, fully formed, physically adult female. I don't know how my capacity could be.
Thank you.
Mhm. So give him, don't go full, don't open the throttle the whole way. And don't let him try to seduce you. That will go badly. Just be upfront. Just say, I'd like to go. Tell me what your dark side is up to. You don't have a deep masculine root, Rian. If you did, you'd never say something like that. If you're a Western culture. You're muted.
I'm not.
Oh, you were making mouth movements without saying anything. There
Murmuring.
you go. Yes, and the deep masculine root usually doesn't do fantastical face movements either. If you watch Alton, he can give you a demonstration of non-deep masculine eyebrow movements.
And angelic
you.
eyelash flutters.
Kate, my recommendation, if you're in physical proximity with him, meet him for a walk. Meet him
Brilliant.
someplace to go for a walk, yep, and hold his hand. Hold your
Great.
hand while you're walking.
Linda, what's your insight about all that?
I generally just feel annoyed.
Annoyed by the questions or annoyed by creative descriptions, or in general of the day, and this is included in that?
I don't know. I'm annoyed with, is your name Ryan?
Like Ian with an R.
Can you just say it?
I can, but it tends to be less clarifying than what I just said. So Rian,
Thank you, Ryan.
Linda.
Rian, Linda. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. You guys could just get a room,
Thought you thought that the layer of lust that is directly sexual was less interesting for you, Cray.
What? What?
I thought that the layer of lust that directly concerns sexuality was less interesting for you.
It is, unless you guys are stuck in a place where you can't dance with it, then I'm like, throw them in a room and let them work it out. I don't think Kate, there's a few little areas. I don't think Kate has much of a problem with it. Okay? Jochen, he's from Norway, he's got problems. All right. Alton, lack of experience, he's got a problem with it. Yeah.
Why?
Why what?
I said, do I?
I think that you're a good mechanic. I think that there's a lot of people who don't understand the depths of sexuality that would be very, very satisfied with having sex with you.
Rian, what's your self-proclaimed expertise?
In as a walking companionship, or it is
He's
sexuality?
fast.
At large, life at large.
Giving language to experience and discerning people's interiorities.
Didn't get it, Kate. You weren't audible.
Can you be, I just was, I appreciating the word interiorities. Can you be less abstract?
Were you trying to ask him how good he is at sex?
No.
Okay.
I'll ask that next though.
Okay.
With great effort, Kate. I am good at putting things in language, and I'm good at reading people.
Ugh.
What's the vote in the room here on how good Rian is at reading people? Is that a thumbs
he-
up from everyone? or-
If he's looking to have people who understand depth take a step back from him, then he's great. If he's trying to get people who have depth to take a step closer, he's shit. That's just an opinion.
I don't really feel like I've seen enough of Rian speaking about various people in the room to answer that question. My sense is that maybe he came here to have a fight with the father, like son versus father archetype.
No, it was mainly what's your name focused.
Yeah, like to save the maiden,
Something like that, yeah.
Hannah. Yeah.
You
It-
approve of maiden saving, Regina?
It can be a fun game to play sometimes, and other games are fun too.
I don't think you answered the question. Do you approve of maiden? I understand that it can
It's
be a
not
fun
like
game.
a yes or no. Like I don't generally approve or disapprove.
Do you like
I would-
having,
I would
Do you like
love
being
to
the
be
maiden?
saved and be a
Okay.
maiden at some point in my life. I'm still waiting to get there.
okay,
Yeah. So there's a longing for it, but like I don't think it's necessary.
is it a longing that you want to get behind in order to make it happen?
I don't really see it as correlating in that way.
Well,
I'm
you can either put
really-
time and effort into making something happen that you want to happen.
Oh,
Or
well,
you can just say, oh, if it comes, it comes.
yeah, I've put
Or you
time
can
and effort.
actively,
Okay, I've put time and effort into developing my own capacity rather than seeking saving. So
so that's a no.
perhaps I could put more time into attempting to be a maiden being saved, and I'll think
You
about that
could.
question. Yeah.
You could, and you could put more time into being a KKK member. There's a lot of things that you could.
Yeah.
I'm asking, are you interested in putting time and energy into becoming a maiden that will be saved?
Yeah, I am a little interested in that.
Okay, fine,
Yeah.
thank you.
I don't really know how to do that, but
That will be the evidence. And for me, the evidence is that while you may say you want that, the evidence is like, no, that's not happening. There's a stronger part of you that says, you can say you want that, but we're not gonna let it happen. We're not gonna let you take those French lessons. We're not gonna let you take ballroom dancing, all the things that in your culture would align behind you becoming more maidenly. We're not gonna let you do.
mhm,
So,
yeah. Yeah, I've been really busy, taking care
other
of
things,
me and other people.
yep.
Yeah.
Regina,
I'm bitter about that too.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm curious, Regina, if you're more interested in what it would look like for somebody to step in and rescue you, like how they would show up to do that, or if you're more interested, if you can discern this, if you're more interested in how you would respond to somebody actually coming in to rescue you, like what kind of capacity you have to be rescued.
I think what I'm interested in is feeling more support. It's not even like the rescue is the hyperbole. So it's fun. It's a fun, kinky game to run in my mind when asked the question. What's true is I would like to feel a lot more supported.
By men and women, or specifically from the masculine? Or
By
from men?
people in general, but definitely by like a man. Yeah, intimately. Yeah. And you had asked me, like, am I more interested in whether I'd be able to receive that, or I don't think I'm quite getting that right. Can you ask it again?
Yeah, I was curious if you, if you're more interested in, if a man were to step up and take that role, how he would actually navigate the energy in order to do that. If you're interested in their behaviors and how they affect you, or if you're more interested in just having the experience, like how can you open, how can you receive? It might seem like an impossible question to answer, but there's the inquiry. Is that more clear?
I think what I'm interested in is having a new life experience. And I feel like it would kind of be a mix of the two. So yeah, I might still not be understanding the question completely.
Okay, I'll give an example. If a man were to come and rescue me, I have an idea of how he would need to behave in order for me to open to him to do that.
Yeah. How would that be? How would he need to behave?
Track record is that he needs to behave like an asshole first
Yeah.
and hurt me.
Yep.
And then my feelings fold in on myself.
Mhm.
And then he's able to reach into my heart and ask forgiveness
Mm.
and completely concede to everything that I need and say, I want to give this to you. Take this. I'm here
Wow.
for you.
That's hot.
And that behavior would then allow me to open my heart and go, okay, this is happening. I'm being fucking rescued right now from my own feelings.
I'm so glad you answered your own question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that?
In moments.
Yeah. Same in moments. And God, that's delicious. Thank you.
But the converse of that, which was the other side of the question that I was asking, is I think I answered both. I'm just gonna take a stab at
No,
it anyway.
the other answer is that you fold in on yourself. And he
Right.
taps his toe and says, seriously, this is what you're gonna do now. You're gonna fold in it. You're gonna believe all that childhood rubbish about how you have to behave right now.
Oh, I'm a victim.
Yes. That's the opposite. That's the adult rescue.
Mm-hmm.
So
All you-
that would be me interested in like my own behavior, like
Yeah.
how I respond.
So Alton, childhood version of rescue, adult version of rescue. Okay, it still happens. They happen in the child realm and in the adult realm, usually the same exact things. It's just a different orientation. In the child, the rescue is make the badness go away.
Mhm.
The adultness is have me step through my restrictions.
That's good. I lean towards the childhood rescue desires.
Don't we all?
It's definitely like, I'm like, oh yeah, there's the adult version.
Mhm.
Way better.
How can I support people in moving from more of the adult version if I have a story that they're moving from the child version?
You can't, you have to meet them where they are. They're all these people around you are coming to you with in my opinion, are coming to you with unmet childhood shit.
Yeah.
And until you give them a taste of, I can meet you there and give you what you want, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
Because they're locked into that place. And you can have them read books, you can draw diagrams.
Could have ChatGPT write a whole
Yeah. Yep. It won't mean anything until they get the embodied experience from another human being doing what it wants. Because then the constriction relaxes a little bit. Because the demand has finally been met.
This is like Meisner then? You just project where they're at and you just put the label on them until they
No, you ask them. You say, Regina, I hear that you've never been rescued and that that's still something in your psyche. I've never rescued anybody. How about we get together? Let's spend 5 or 6 hours writing the script. Seeing what this is like. Granted, it's not like somebody actually riding over the hill on his white charger in his suit. Okay, granted.
You don't have a white
But-
horse or a white
Yeah.
Tesla in the back? No. Not laughing. Okay.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
So then you can practice.
I like this idea of like a 5-hour like fantasy role-playing rescue scene for
Yeah.
me. I'm gonna put that on the list for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, why go to ignore the kinky sex stuff? Go to the roots.
How do you know my rescue doesn't have kinky sex in it, Gray?
Because if it's really a child, I don't think you were having sex when you were 5 or 6.
That is true.
I do believe that you as an adult are really fascinated with the kinky possibilities
Also,
and how it could go from white to black in a heartbeat. I believe that.
Yeah.
But that's not addressing that fundamental ball and chain constriction.
well, when I've received deep attunement to my little girl, that addresses it.
Yep.
And are you saying that Alton should learn how to do that for whether it's me or other people?
If he wants to, I don't think he has the pelvis.
Meaning,
He doesn't have the seat. He doesn't have the width.
yeah, he would need some therapy training.
No, I don't care how much training you have. You can't make a violin sound like a bass cello. Okay, they're just two different instruments.
Hmm.
No slight on Alton. It's just he's better than other things.
You're saying it would take like a larger man to rescue a 5-year-old Regina?
Bigger hips, more ground, more stability.
I mean, honestly, the people that have done it decently for me have had bigger hips. It's
I'm not
interesting.
in. I don't want decently. I want it to be outstanding.
Oh, thank you. I feel
And
your
it's
heart,
not.
Gray.
Oh, shut up. There's no heart in that. Good God.
That's
You're
a callback to
delusional.
before you got on here. I think your name is Kay. I can't see it, but
Yeah, good.
thank you.
It's what's I'm a greedy old man. I want you bigger than smaller. The most efficacious way is for you to go back, in my opinion, is to go back, have the experiences so they can stop having that goddamn hands around your throat so you can move on. And the best way I know, find an internal family therapist, preferably masculine, that can hold the seat for you, that has wide enough hips to where you can be in whatever you're in, and he's not gonna have his black hole shit show up. He's not gonna have his little, oh, look, it's a wounded feminine, or whatever peaky shit there is. This thing. That's what I mean by a big seat.
I've
Yeah.
had IFS before, and I've had lovers who've done IFS, but they've also been triggered. So yeah.
No. Having your intimate partners be your facilitator is a risky business.
Yes, I've learned
Not-
this.
Not recommended. Are you someplace very warm, Kate?
Yes.
Where are you?
In my bedroom in Puerto Rico, I just turned my AC
Oh.
on.
You turned your AC on with the window open.
No, it's got plastic on it.
Uh,
Icing though. Facilitated by intimate partner.
That
Hmm?
Hmm?
what'd you say?
The idea of having that sort of therapeutic encounter with an intimate partner
What about it?
is enticing to me.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it's very intimate.
yeah, having sex with a 6-year-old, that's really intimate and interesting. I was like, no, it's not.
No.
You're calling forth an inner child consciousness, and you've probably had sex with that body. That kid has access to what's happening. You're
My frame is
mixing a
more-
lot of weird shit.
Yeah, I hear you. My frame is more around there's a desire to feel that all parts are fully welcomed by the beloved. So when a lover can hold that part, that does something. And I get that it's best to not have your lover be your therapist. I understand that too.
I can hold the existence of your kids and how they manifest,
Mhm,
but that's yours.
mhm.
That's in here. They don't know me. If they see me and I'm saying, "Oh, nice inner child," they're translating that into daddy.
Mhm.
I don't need to mess with that.
You don't.
They can't see me. I was not around when they formed. So whatever I'm doing with you, they're interpreting it as daddy or mommy or the milkman or the horse or whatever it was. Not a good dynamic.
You want to unmerge reparenting from partnership, or you think that's the healthiest?
Yes. Yes.
Did you interpret one of us as saying it was a good dynamic?
You said you were interested in it.
That's not what I asked.
Yes, I am interpreting that you're interested in it, that you think it's a good thing.
Ah,
Your dark side. Not your public face. Good Lord, your public face would never think that was interesting.
hmm? I'm telling you right now, it's enticing. I don't understand.
Right now, to me, you're doing, do you know the scene from Silence of the Lambs when he goes, fava beans? That's exactly what you're doing right now. And I don't think it's a mistake.
Ray, how can I like get more juice from Rand's dialogue with you? I'm noticing.
He's, you can't get juice from an intellect. It's really, well, you can, but it's really difficult. He has a hell of a lot of juice, and he has a hell of a lot of an intellect, and he's used to being an épée man. He doesn't use a club, doesn't use a sword, a slicing sword. He uses the point of the sword to inscribe on you. Okay, yeah, rapier. Rapiers are cut and slash, aren't they? The ones with the baskets.
Oh, they were like fencing.
Yeah, the fencing ones, the ones where you only score points with the tip.
Mhm. Are you implying that I was contriving my expression to unsettle?
No, I don't think that's I think that you do that. I don't think it's a contrivance, contrivance, yeah, whatever. That word. I don't think it's contrived at all. I think that's very much what you're about.
Sure, on the level, yeah. Though,
Yeah, the smile. Kate, look at the smile.
but I feel like that framing implies in most contexts an inauthenticity that isn't present here.
I don't believe in authenticity or not, because your public face is going to be authentic with all of these nice things. Okay, your private face is going to be authentic with all of these dark things. If your public face tried to do a dark thing, it would not be felt as authentic. If your dark side tries to do one of your light things, it's not going to be thought of as authentic. Authentic is character based and situationally based, contextually based.
Well, I was pointing to the specific action that you had been referring to.
So can you see him inscribing me?
Hey, can I step in?
Of course why are you asking permission?
Just as a way of getting the room's attention when I opened my mouth.
Well, there's lots of more entertaining ways of getting attention with your open mouth.
Hey,
Everyone's goal is to be entertaining.
Rian, I wonder, so I'm interested in Alton's desire to get more juice from this dialogue. And my story is that you don't feel safe to let Cray kind of open you up into something because you're sort of don't like a lot of things about the way he's showing up, which I get. I don't like some of the things about how he's showing up either, but like I feel kind of this, it almost feels like a defensive or like a fighting energy from you. And like I think that's maybe that's why the dialogue's a bit boring for us, because it's like I wonder what's happening in your heart and like your pelvis and what you want right now.
I don't have a problem with his treatment of me or anyone in the call currently. I'm guessing that you're saying that due to a mix of my professed reason for joining and my sort of nonverbal signals that I'm giving currently. Is that correct?
And verbal, like the way that you two are verbally engaging, it seems like it's staying in this kind of level and it doesn't feel like something is opening.
Sure. I am.
Can you feel his belly, Regina?
It feels like it's pulled into me.
Yeah, that's your evaluation of it. But if you take your whatever it is and you reach out there and you put your hand on his belly, can you feel something? It's an energetic thing. It's not pixels. It's whatever. Okay, this is bullshit, feminine thing. Kate is doing it. I think Kate is looking over at Rian.
Sure.
And she's feeling something. And she's not looking at this. May I, Kate?
Inside of herself.
I think you're interested in how that rabbit would scream.
I don't know what is that the
Silence of the Lambs.
lamb would scream?
No, rabbits, when you kill them, they can scream. There's a reference in the movie to it. And I think that Kate looks at you and she sees all of that. And she realizes that she could probably put you in a position to where the rabbit would scream.
Make my rabbit scream, Kate.
And Kate, does he know what he's saying? I understand that he's saying it. But do you think he knows what he's asking? In your opinion, do you think his rabbit has ever screamed as an adult? It screamed plenty when he was a kid.
My gut sense is that he wants to be challenged so that he knows what it takes to make a rabbit scream.
No, does he know what it is to be the rabbit screaming?
No.
No, he doesn't. Good. Then you got a nice challenge out of it. Because in my belief, the rabbit scream happened and he locked it away. It was too much when he was a kid. All right. And so now you've got to get past it, because when you start getting close enough to it, he's going to do everything he can to push you away or push himself away. And you have, yeah, and you like this. How do I get him in a corner to where he can't get away? Is that true, Kate?
That I'm thinking that?
No, that you like putting people in corners so they can't escape except through you.
Oh, fuck.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I already said I'm interested in exactly that. Those most obsessed with maintaining control are most interested in having it wrested from them.
Says your brain.
Brain's connected to my heart.
No, it's not. Not in yours. There's a glass thing right there. It's technically, I agree with you, it's not, but your experience, I believe, is that there are vague things happening there.
Well, if I could respond to Regina's question and say that one of the main reasons that I maintain the sort of posture I'm taking to Cray is because the two roads that I see as within my sort of power to navigate well are to the current one, which invites him to overcome me, or the one where I just sort of fold and become a uninterestingly blubbering mess right before I have to leave for somewhere else.
Ah,
This-
the middle,
Yes,
another one.
for me, those are incorrect. The place, I don't think you can do it with the masculine, I think you have to do it with the feminine. Is how do you get to that point to where you think the rabbit is screaming? Like it's terrified, and you pop through to the other side. That you're no longer a prisoner of that energy, labeled rabbit screaming by your child. In Kate's world, that's a stallion. All right?
Can I share something anecdotal?
No, not at all.
It's fucking good. It's really good.
He doesn't
I
like
feel-
it when we ask permission, but I would like to hear what you want to say.
So I just came from an experience. I feel very deeply seen by Cray in this moment. Where, and this is anecdotal.
So
right?
wait a minute. Touche, Rian. Touche. She feels deeply seen by my idiotic dance. And not
Yeah.
seen by yours.
Is that the touche?
That is the touche.
Touche. What are you trying to say,
make Kate
Kay?
feel seen.
So, and this is true, and we can talk about why if it's interesting to anybody. So I was just in a situation with a couple. And I was going to spend time with the male at the female's permission. And, you know, every kitchen table sort of scenario. But I don't really like the way that the man in this relationship treats his girlfriend. And I witnessed it a few times. I'm like, this doesn't fly with me. And we got into the intimate space. And for me, it was like there's an elephant in the room. And I was like, you know, we're laying down and we're like this. And I'm like, why do you do that? And there was truth in the room. The field was thick. And he had every opportunity to, what I would have preferred is that, yeah, he would have let himself be skinned and brought it through me to reach more truth. And he decided to take a different route and put up a boundary and say, that's none of your business, basically. And I can't believe you're bringing this into our space right now. And I'm like, how can I not? We're all three here in this situation. And I'm very much in on your dynamic. And so you have every opportunity to take up this moment and to work with it or don't, whatever. And he didn't. And we closed our time because the intimacy was killed, not by me. I was like, we can go as deep as you want with this. Here's your opportunity. But I wanted it to be through me, to Cray's point, which I think is very insightful. I didn't recognize that. But I can name multiple other experiences where I've had. And for me, if he had taken that experience and been like, okay, like, let me go in and look at this now, since we're all here, since all the energy is here, that would have made him a fucking stallion, to use Cray's words. That would have been him showing up in a major way, not for me, for the women in his life and for his own opportunity to evolve himself, to step up a level for his own better version. And he didn't in that moment, which is fine. The next day or two, he's, you know, slowly taken steps back that way, re-engaged with me. I feel like there, but I'm like, that moment's gone. It's gone forever now.
Mhm.
That opportunity is lost. And wow, like you could have had that opportunity.
Yeah, cowardice is really not sexy.
And it's frustrating. And I'm like, so I really get, for a moment, I just kind of get who I am, but through Cray's reflection and also what I want from men in the realm of intimacy. To like fucking, I don't know if it's a good metaphor, like make your cock grow. I don't
The point,
know
Kate,
what.
The
But
point
it's-
is that the masculines respond to a range of competition. And so the feminines push them up against that edge, but they have to cut their own throat. That's because in that moment, the rabbit's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna kill me. Scream, scream, you're gonna overpower me. Ah, and you're like, no.
I'm frozen,
You-
can't hear anything. I missed what you
Well.
said. Sorry.
So you're going to bring something up. Why do you do that? And the masculine, who's used to competitiveness, is going to be pushed up against the edge of his box. And the child in him is going to start screaming because this is too dangerous, too revealing, too horrible, whatever it is. And they're expecting you to push them through that. And instead, you hand them the knife and say, do it yourself. And if they can't do it themselves, if they can't fillet themselves, if they can't skin themselves through their choice. Now he can flip it on a dime and say, oh, you're demanding me. I'm not going to get any of that sweet pussy unless I gut myself, so I'm going to do it. That's not the same thing. When he looks at, oh, how do I treat my girlfriend? What is that? And he starts peeling away the excuses to find the heart of it. If you do it for him, it's useless. Insight doesn't count. It's the exercise.
It's just so hot when
Yep.
men peel themselves. I
Um,
mean, it's just, wow.
Out of curiosity, Kate, when you asked him that, would you say there was more curiosity in your experience or more challenge? Were you challenging him or were you curious?
I was curious, but I think that energetically, I was stern. I was stern enough for him to, yeah, just shy away from it rather than rise up and meet that. Be like, oh. And I said, bottom line, like he deflects. I said, bottom line, can you treat so-and-so better? And he stopped and he was like, yeah, I could, but I'm not gonna get into that with you right now. That's not the thing. And I'm like, that's the flower is wilted at that point. But anyway, I'm sharing that because I think it's number one, it just is it's helping me reflect on my own energy in that space, but also like to Craig's point, like why not rise to the occasion when you can, when you have that opportunity, like when you're in that kind of field where like truth is on the table, like why would you not meet it?
Are you doing it now, Kate? Are you rising to your opportunity right now? Now, Kate, practice.
I don't feel the passion about it right now.
I don't. So he's going to say, this is not the place to talk about it. And you're going to say, I don't feel the passion to talk about it. Yeah. I am a victim to my lack of passion.
I mean,
Are you looking away to hide the smile?
no, I was trying to recall what I could
No,
actually
right
call
now,
on in this moment.
right here, right here.
Yeah, right.
Just look around.
To
Pick one.
I mean, Rian, I feel bad for Rian because at this point, he's coming at you, friend.
That's your truth.
But yeah, like why are
No. What's your truth? Rian, he's going to bring way less than I will. So if you don't fucking man up here, your chances with me are infinitesimal. How's that land? Kate. What's the smile? Don't think too much.
Active listening.
Hmm. How does that feel as a measure of deeper truth? For you, it's an opinion. How does that flavor land with you?
I think I need to practice it more. It's, I mean,
I'm
it's,
not. How does it
interesting.
land with you? No, it's not interesting.
it makes
Kafka is
me,
interesting. Yeah.
it makes me afraid that um, that I will, it makes me go into being afraid that I'm gonna,
That's her.
cut somebody unwittingly.
That's her. You understand that getting cut unwittingly is part of the dance. If your boyfriend's going to shit can you because you cut him unwittingly, not a good boyfriend. Getting cut unwittingly is part of the game. And that's not how you feel. That's the meaning making you're making about how you feel. Sounds to me like you find yourself with two blades in your hand saying, I don't really know how to use these, but the thought of using them is really exciting.
It can be true.
Yeah, well, yeah, so could that you like turkey burgers too. That could be true.
No, that's absolutely true.
So how did I do, what did I do differently, Kate? I didn't solve it for you. You had to step into it. You had to acknowledge where you had already stepped.
Yeah.
Clearing your throat.
I mean, I feel like I require more familiarity and also proximity. Like if I was with Rian in a room right now, I would probably like grab him by the shirt gently and pull him up to me and be like, bro, friend, guy, man, what's your fucking deal? Why all of this? Why all the side eye? Why all of the faces? Like, be direct. Why are you intellectualizing? What is in there that you're bobbing and weaving around?
Kate, you just did it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
But for real.
And if he was there, I imagine the scent and the energy and the feel of you would be short-circuiting that defensive pattern. And he would accidentally reveal the truth. It's my supposition. Because masculines can become intoxicated. And when they become intoxicated, their intellect is the first thing to leave. That's one of the weapons you have.
I'd like it to be stated and known on the record that I actually penetrated Rian the most of anyone on this call. And if I had the rest of the hour with him, I could have gotten him to melt like a little girl.
Why would you want a man to melt like a little girl?
So we could feel his vulnerability and whatever he's hiding underneath the intellect and then integrate it with the intellect and with the cock.
He has to hand you. It's not something that you do to, oh no.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? Are they in your house, Alton? Do you have the lead shields up? Oh my God. That is, plutonium should not be allowed to get that close to another piece of plutonium. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. That is a nightmare born of the ninth circle of hell. That is.
Hey, Craig.
Oh,
Craig,
hey.
Everybody.
hi, everybody.
Oh,
Hi,
good.
Cynthia.
Just don't talk to me. Thank you. That's a request.
Aw.
I like Regina's proclamation. Let me go back there.
Thanks. What do you want about it?
I want to give you more time.
Oh, I think the call's about to end. I just wanted to have that acknowledged by at least one person here, which I think you just did, or maybe are open to doing.
And Regina, I'm just telling you, as a guy who's been doing this for 1,000 years, melting the masculine, you're going to get at their inner kids, absolutely. And all kinds of great therapeutic stuff can happen, but it doesn't help build the adult masculine. It does not help at all.
I think my therapeutic orientation is probably different than yours, and
Fine.
I've seen progress with my orientation. And what do you say would help build the adult masculine? Because challenging it head on, as you've been doing in this call, hasn't really been bearing
We
much
have to
fruit
get-
with Rian.
I know that's the masculine thing, is that push him to the edge of where he is, and then have him make different choices, just
Yeah,
like
you
she
can
did
also
with her
get
lover.
someone to make different choices from down and up rather
Yeah.
than like pushing.
Okay.
off the cliff. You might not know how to do it that way, but I do.
Fine. There's many different flavors of ice cream. Though.
I mean, but why not interact with what she's saying? I
Because
don't,
it doesn't make sense to me. She's
So-
saying you
so
should
like,
put
let
lemon
us
juice.
try?
Hmm?
I don't know, like,
She can do whatever she wants. I don't care. She can. I'm happy. Go do that. I like my style.
I know.
I
she's not
like my
asking you-
preference.
She's not asking you for permission to go do her thing.
I know she's.
She's
She's
engaging
telling
in
me.
conversation.
I
Yes.
just want the old white man to validate my modern methodology.
Why would you want an old white man to do anything? That's ridiculous. They're old white
Daddy
men.
issues, duh.
Well, then why are you letting your child be president instead of your adult?
Because I'm trying to play with you because you're too serious.
Yeah. Yeah, you can ask Cynthia or the unnamed other there to, ask about playing with me.
That sounds like an interesting story.
It is. It might be. They might tell you I'm full of shit.
You're pretty fun when you actually play, when you don't be like, okay.
I like
Gee,
when
what-
you
What does it take for me to play? Unnamed one.
I might have you call me that for the rest of our relationship.
Great name.
I like it.
Kate, I have to say, I have not really thought of you for a long time. And today I went on Facebook to look something up and then I saw you and I was like, I wonder how Kate's doing. And I went on your page and here you are.
Hi,
Hi,
you brought me.
maybe. Who knows? It's a mystery.
Of a synchronicity.
Unnamed one. How do you get me to play it? You specifically, not the generic.
How do you get me to play?
I
Not
just
by
did.
that, not by that
I
puppet.
just did. Do you have an answer?
Not in word format yet.
Good. Maybe something for you to work on.
You giving me homework?
No, I would never imagine. I would never do that. Why would I ever give a dragon? Offer them a limb, maybe, but not one. Hopefully, ultimate pestilence. That's my hope.
Yeah, you think it's gonna take your side?
No, I think he's interested in your opinion about how to get me to play. Because I think he's looking at you now and looking at the way you're showing up and saying, oh my God, she has gotten him to play. And in his world, that doesn't happen very often. And he also has that right. Ooh, that is hot. Nobody else can see it except Cynthia, but it's really hot. Yeah, no, your head's moving the wrong way.
I don't like it.
I understand your child doesn't like it at all.
Hmm.
Anyhow,
I was interested in your response, like an actual response to Regina. She made a good point.
I'm fine. I'm like in my experience, you can melt people all you want. It's
I'm
great.
asking you about your evaluation. I'm interested in you trying on tasting different wine. You talk about wine tasting, instrument playing,
I
play.
spent years doing inner child work.
Good for you. Still, like
They have melted. I don't understand what you're asking me to do.
play. You do.
I
You have a knife to play yourself.
What do you think is going to happen if I play with Regina the way that I play with you?
I didn't ask you to play with her in the way.
If I play with her in the way that I play, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know, but I think
I'm asking for your opinion.
it's going to explode. And
I'm
if it's
asking for
closer
your
to me, I
opinion.
think she's going to give you a good solid smack, which, is a win for all of us.
Yes. So, right, I'm going to play with her. And she's going to smack me. Where's that going to get us?
No. Cray, you can be so nuanced. You're
Yes.
you're being like, I don't know how to use my feet, but you do. You know how to do it. I know you know.
Then why am I doing it this way?
I don't know. Boredom.
Yes, you do. No, you don't.
Well, then why are you asking me questions you know the answer to? Everyone knows it's
Because you know the answer to them. You're trying to get me to do something you want to do, and you're not sitting over here saying, oh, Cray is doing Cray's dance. And when Cray does his dance, even with obstinate young dragons like me, amazing things happen after a while. They're rarely instantaneous. You remember your instantaneous reaction to me the first time? Oh, it's gone. Thank God.
the first conversation we had.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Cynthia's going, yep, I can hear it right now.
That's interesting. This is less.
Yes, I
It's
understand.
fun
But
for me.
that's
I like.
it's my style. Why are you messing with my style?
It's his public face.
Inviting you out of
Why?
the pattern.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's no coin. There's no reason to do it. In my estimation, if I do that with Regina, it's not going to be anything that I want to have happen. So I'm not doing it that way. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Seems fair. That's a perfectly reasonable reason. Like
Thank you.
I back you not doing things you don't want, that you anticipate being not what you want. Yeah, fuck yeah to that.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Cat, cut yourself.
Wow. I want to, no, I wish you did. And sure, never. Yeah, exactly. But it's not so much whether the cat has the tone about, it's where does she have it? So, can I ask you a question?
Can I ask you a question?
Why are you asking permission?
Because it's code. It means I want to ask a question that I think you have to put your seatbelt on. Is your seatbelt on?
You asking me?
Yes.
I don't know. You can't ask me.
Okay.
You can text it to me.
Nope.
Okay.
Missed opportunity.
It was about Cynthia.
I don't feel scarcity of Cynthia at the moment.
You don't feel scarcity?
Mhm.
What? It has nothing to do. It's quite the opposite.
It's bait.
I know. Hi, Regina. I liked what you were saying.
Thanks. I'm liking you a lot so far.
So far, good qualifier. So I'm not gonna ask a question, I'm gonna make an opinion. It looks like Cynthia has your cup overflowing.
We just met.
I'm not saying whether you just met or not.
Yeah, so there's like, yay. Hmm.
It looks good on both sides.
Hmm. Thank you. Right.
Similar notes. Okay, anything else?
What'd
Any
you have?
practices we could take on together while we have everyone in the same house?
There are so many practices. There are just scadillions. So also go around and ask people. Give them print out the how to build an exercise. Ask them if they're interested.
Okay.
See what they have to say. Build their skill set. JFL from Cynthia. Wow.
What's that? What's JFL?
It's an acronym.
For?
Just fucked look.
Why? What are you talking about?
Of course, I've been corrected by the intellect in the crowd. Okay. Bonne chance, mes amis.
Bye.